let's go ahead and create one. All right, so I'm just gonna build something that I've kind of built for my current client. So I'm going to put in a container. Let me just design something fake real quick. So I have a container. Let's put a 2-column grid. Actually, no, let's not that. Let's do something better. Let's use a pre-made layout. There we go. Pre-made layout, and we'll have a gallery. Cool. This gallery thumbnail. We'll use this. And hey, look at that. It's Jessica with the Pixel Geek shirt. Yay, she designed it. And this mug. Coming soon. All right, cool. So what I want to do is if I click on, let's see here. Let's see here. These are links. Okay, so if I click on an element that'll appear on the top right of each of these, each of these images, I want a tooltip to show up. Okay, so let's go ahead and start building it. So let me get this ready. Let me put a div block here. And this one is going to span like that. Okay, cool. Let's put another div block. I want to wrap all of these light boxes in a div block. So that way I can put something else. So I can put something else in it. Not just a light box. I have it in my head. Don't worry. I'll explain it. Let me just set this up real quick. Almost done. Need one more div. Okay, so we have our... Wait, what? Oh, okay. Cool. So I don't need that one. Okay, 1, 2, 3... What are you doing? No. Why are you like that? What? There. Okay, cool. All right. So I have my setup. And so what my elements is I have a div block and then I have a light box in the div block. So these div blocks, I want to set them as position relative because I'm going to have these tooltip icons, these tooltip hotspots on the top on the top left. The top left of each one. So this div block, I'm going to call it we'll just call it div. Bad name, but what? We'll call it div, and we'll set the position to relative. Okay, so we set the position to relative, and inside of that div, I'm going to add another div, and this one is going to be called tooltip wrapper. Okay, so this is the tooltip wrapper, and we're going to set that to position absolute and put it to the top right. And let's go ahead and make this width 50-50. Ooh, that's too big. Okay, 25-25. And we're going to make a circle. So first, let's go ahead and... what color will stand out? All right, blue will stand out. Okay, so we have a background of blue. And to round it out, we use border radius 50%. So if your width and height are the same, and you do a border radius 50%, then you get a perfect circle. And that's how you do that. So now we have that. And let's push this away from the edge. So I'm going to add a margin to the top and to the side. And there we go. And let's play around with the style a bit more. I'm going to give it a border, and I'm going to grow the border, something like that. Give it a color white, and let's add a box shadow so it's like popping out of the, there we go, something like that. And let's tone it down a little. There we go. So we have this tooltip. So what I want is when someone clicks on this, a tooltip shows up. All right. Okay. So we have that tooltip wrapper, and now we need to make that actual tooltip. And let's see here. Inside of this tooltip wrapper, we can add another div. So we have tooltip wrapper and another div. And inside of this is going to be the tooltip content. Tooltip content wrapper. Okay, so this one is also going to be position absolute. Now here's the weird thing about positions. I've always said position absolute is always looking for its parent that has position relative. Well, that's also the case if its parent has position absolute. So if you have an absolute inside of absolute, then this absolute is targeting its parent. CSS is confusing. All right, so let's keep going. Gonna set that there, and let's push it down a couple pixels. I'm gonna go down here and push it down a couple pixels, like let's say 10. How's 10 feel? Well, I can't even see what it is. Let's give it a width of like 300. Nah, that's too big. Okay, 230, and then the height will be auto, so we can add some padding inside of it. Give it a background color of white. Ooh, we need a Z index. Okay, I'll fix that. Let's give it a border radius. There we go. And inside of the content wrapper, let's go ahead and put some text. So we have a text block, and there we go. Almost done. We need to set this tooltip wrapper to be Z index higher than the rest. So down here, under Z index, I'm gonna do something like 10. There we go. Now it's showing up. Going back to the tooltip wrapper, let's give this like 20 pixels from the left. Cool. So moving this, let's do something like that. Yeah, that looks good. And let's add a drop shadow to that. So box shadows, distance 0, play around with the blur, and let's tone that down a bit. Cool. I don't want this centered. I want this aligned left. So, hey, this is a cool shirt made by an equally cool lady. All right, cool. So we have that, but now we need that little triangle thing that connects this speech bubble thing, this tooltip, to this tooltip wrapper, right? So let's make a triangle without using any images. So let's go here and Command E, put another div, and we're gonna call this tooltip triangle. And we can do position absolute within another position absolute. I mean, sky's the limit. And let's go ahead and play around with the borders. All right, so to make a triangle that's pointing to the left, you need to use border right, and we'll set this to something like 10 pixels, border left, or sorry, border right, and we'll use the color white. And then for the top, we're going to use the same width, 10, but the color is going to be transparent. And this one right here, same thing, 10 and transparent. And then you have a, can't even see it, negative 10 pixels. There we go. And we'll say 2 pixels from the top. You can kind of see it. It's there, I promise. See it? Yeah. Cool. So let's go ahead and move this whole content wrapper over this. So look, there we go. Push it down. Cool. Congrats. We have made a tooltip, right? And let's give an option for people to close it. So let me do another text block. and we'll say close, because when you click on this, it's an open, and now we need a function to close it. So we're setting that one up as well. So we'll say close, and let's style this a bit. Tooltip wrapper, we'll use Montserrat. And this one could be bold. This one, we can push it back a little, like that on the color. I'm gonna call this close. Oh, close tool tip, all right? And let's center this one, make this a little bit smaller, and we can capitalize the whole thing. Push that down with the padding so I can have a border on the top. A subtle line like that, and also push it away. So something like that. I should push it away more. Get away. Okay, cool. So this is what it's going to look like when we open it. And then when I click on this, it'll close. So our structure is done. Okay. So now let's go ahead and do some Webflow interactions. All right. So let me see here. Okay, we're cool. Hold on. Did I do this wrong? I'm wondering if I did this wrong, because if I click this tooltip wrapper, I feel like anything inside of the tooltip wrapper that I click, it's going to want to open. So do I need to make another? Yeah, I think I do. I need to make another div inside of this, because we have the tooltip wrapper that's positioning the things, but then I need one div just for the circle, and then I need one div just for the content. So I've combined two things when I'm not supposed to. So let me fix that real quick. So let's just change this to circle, and I'm going to create another div, and we'll call this tool tip wrapper, and put this one in here, put this one in here, and the tooltip wrapper is position absolute to the top right, and we're still good, I hope. Okay. Okay, repositioning. There we go. All right. Cool, so we're back on it. So if I click on this, so let me zoom in onto my elements. So this tooltip wrapper, that's just telling the content, hey, I want you to be at the top right of the div that you're inside of. Cool. Tooltip circle. This is the thing that opens the actual tooltip. So if I click on it, cool. Tooltip content wrapper, that is what contains the actual content that shows up. All right. So that's what we're doing. Tooltip circle. Time for interactions. Let's do this. Element trigger. On mouse click. Action. Start animation. Plus. All right, so when I tooltip open, there we go. So when I click on this, I want this content wrapper to show up. Now, you would think that, okay, cool. Now I just need to make the animations happen from opacity 0 to whatever. Well, we didn't set the opacity yet. We didn't hide it yet, so we need to set the initial state of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press plus, and let's move it to the side. Let's move it let's move to the side, like 30 pixels to the right, okay? And that's going to be set as initial state. So when the page first loads, push that thing over to the right. Also, we want to set the opacity to 0 so we don't see it. Also, we want to make sure that the hide and show is display none. We don't want to see it on the page at all. We don't want people to be able to click on it at all. All right. So that's the initial state. All right. So if I click save, you would think that it's still showing up, but if I preview it, I can't see it. I can't interact with it. It's just gone because that's the initial state. All right. Next, in the animation, what I can do is I can right click on this hide and show, duplicate it, and set that to display block. And now we see it, but since opacity is 0, we need to right click on this opacity, duplicate it, and say, go to 100. And since I want a cool ease, we'll set that ease out to out quart. And lastly, the move, I'm going to duplicate that and put that with the opacity and set that to 0. So when it plays, oh, let me set the quart. So when it plays, it does that. Right? So let's preview it, click it, and there we go. So we're halfway there. I need to make sure that this tooltip circle also has a hand icon when you hover over it. So let's go ahead and set the cursor for that tooltip circle to be pointer. Okay, so now let's preview. We have the pointer. There we go. So we're halfway there. Now we just need to close, and we're good. So I'm going to set this to close tooltip. So close tooltip. I'm going to add a interaction for mouse click, start animation. And what I can do is, to save time, I can just duplicate that animation and then call it tooltip close. Delete all this. Delete these 3 steps. And set these 3 steps not as a initial state, so I turn that off, but an actual animation. So what I want to do is animate the move and the opacity back to its original state. So opacity is 0, the move is back to 30, and let's go ahead and set the easings for those as well. And lastly, the hide and show is going to be display none. And let's see here. Let me double check. Only siblings of this. Yeah. So I think that's it. Yep. It doesn't work. So let's see here. So if I click on close, siblings with this. Oh, it's not a sibling. It's a parent. Okay. The move needs to go back to 30, and then content wrapper, parent of this class needs to go that. This one needs to be parent. Yeah. Preview. There we go. There we go. And lastly, this close needs that hand icon as well when you hover over it. Cool. Let's go and so say you have multiple tooltips. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Hold on. Hold on. Something from Colleen. What's up, Colleen? I'm getting comments about my haircut. Thank you all. Thank you all. Samish, appreciate you doing these live sessions. You're welcome. And again, if you're interested, I'm doing my first visual dev course starting Monday. We have room for, I think, one or two more people. So if you want to get in on that. All right. So I'm going to copy this tooltip wrapper. Let's give this next div, a class of div, and paste in the tooltip wrapper. And there we go. So we have another one. And let's see if it works already. Okay, cool. I have multiple ones. Yay, so easy. Here is what the front looks like. And we can just copy this, give this a class name of div, paste in my new tooltip, and this is what the back looks like. Cool. All right. It works. But this is not a good user experience. Oh, this is not a good user experience. If I click on this, and then click on this, look it. Now it looks messy. I have 3 tooltips. So now I'm wondering, how do I close all of them at once? Ooh. All right. So let's, I've done it for my client, but I'm trying to replay in my head. How did I do that? All right. Yeah. Let's figure it out. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go to my close tooltip. So now we're going into more advanced things. So the first thing of structuring this, that was beginner stuff. Beginner-ish stuff. Adding an interaction to make this tooltip work, intermediate type of stuff. Now, making sure that all of them close all at the same time, based on which one you're closing, and reusing interactions in a more scalable way. This is advanced stuff. So if you can't follow me, I'm sorry, but I'm doing my best to explain. But that's what the future course is for, right? All right, so let's go. So this closed tooltip, I'm gonna go back into it. And tooltip close, I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to set this right here under class. I'm going to set this to all elements. I think this is what's going to do it. Let's try it. Save. And let's preview. So if I open, and if I just close, cool. If I open, close. All right, so we're almost there. So we've reused this. So if I open all of these and click close on one of them, all of them go away. All right, but now what I want also is if I click on this and then I click on this, well, this first one should have closed. So let's try to figure that out. Let's see here. What did I do? How did I do it? Okay. So what I can do is I can add another mouse click to this. So I'm going to press plus mouse click, start animation, and I'm going to do close. Right? Now, because this has a close and it's doing animation of like 0.5 seconds, I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of error. So I'm going to click on this. Yeah. So it kind of works. So if I click on this, then click on this, kind of works. Now what's going on is you have the tooltip open and the tooltip close fighting against each other. So I'm guessing this tooltip open, if we can delay this stuff by 0.5 seconds. So setting a delay. I'm thinking that that works. Ugh. It doesn't. Oh, what did I do with my client website? I can't show it on stream. I mean, it works, and I was like so happy, and I was like, oh, I figured it out. And Jacob, second click needs to be a duplicate and siblings only instead of tool. Hold on, let me double check. Only siblings, yeah. No, that's siblings. Yeah, I've done this with no second click, functions. There is a way. There is a way. Let me remove the delay. What did I do? I did something, and I was so happy, and now I'm like, yeah. Well, as with all of my projects that I do live, I let you all clone it, and I'll put the clonable link in the YouTube description after the stream, and I also tweet it out so you can figure out where I went wrong or use this for your future projects. But yeah. Oh, okay. The hide had no animation. I just straight up just 0-second duration. That's what's up. All right, I figured it out. So this close right here, how it has a animation right here of 0.5 seconds, or like, sorry, these have an animation duration of 0.5. I just set it to 0. And then this tooltip circle with the open animation, I set that as a delay of 0.2. Nope. What? You're supposed to close as well. Oh, wait. Wait, what? All elements. Yes, all elements with... You're just... I thought... And that's web design, people. It never works the first go around. Close! This is... So, if you want to know what advanced Webflow is like, it's like this. Yelling at your screen. That's the advanced life of Webflow. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out either. Like, man, I thought I really had it because I just looked. So the tooltip open, you delay it by 0.2 because you're waiting for all of these to close. And then the opacity do these wonderful things. Oh wait, I didn't set the same interactions for the other ones. That's why. Yeah, I didn't do the... There we go. I need to set the interactions for close. There, so that one. Oh, that's what I did. Yeah, okay. So instead of setting these element triggers on all of them, what I can do is delete these, all of these interactions, and just set it once. And this is, again, an advanced thing about interactions. You can reuse the same interactions right here using class. So watch this. You see all the lightning bolts I removed from my navigator panel? None of these elements have the lightning bolts. So now I can do it just once based on class. So watch this. Boom. All of them are supposed to have it. Oh, okay. Okay, let's... Oh, there we go. Cool. There we go. And close. They're supposed to... Close tooltip. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah. Close tooltip. So tooltip circle, all of them have it. Close tooltip. I'm going to do a mouse click. And if you're confused, I'm so sorry. There we go. Come on, you can do this. And that's the advanced feeling of Webflow right there. You yell at your screen as much as possible, then finally you figure it out, and then you step away from your screen and have yourself a drink. And that's Webflow. You get mad until you learn, and then the learning process is over. And it's funny because once you're done learning and you look back and you're like, oh, that was easy. It's always easier after the fact. But there we go. Reusable tooltips. And so I can add a fourth one. I can just go here, take this tooltip wrapper, call this div, paste in tooltip. This is a mug. Preview and no. Bam. Bam. So we have this. This works because we are all awesome. We know how to use Webflow interactions. Now, it's going to look like crap here. So look at that. Oh no, we have to scroll left and right to see what's going on there. Oh no, we have a horizontal scroll. That one's okay. That one's okay. This one's not. So what do you do? So now we're going to go into low code mode. So we had advanced, and now this is advanced-ish +1. All right. So here's how I solve this problem for my client. I'm going to make a little drawer that comes from the bottom and shows up to show the text. So, yeah, let's do this. So all the content, so I don't want any of these content tooltip wrapper. I don't want any of this tooltip content wrappers to show up on mobile, but I still need to know the, I need to find the text. So all of these text blocks right here, I need to give it a class name. Oh, I need a better class name, not text block. We're going to call it tooltip text. Cool. Much better. Tooltip content wrapper, let's not show you at all. You're gone from the page. And plus, for our interactions, we want to make sure that this only triggers on desktop and above. So don't do mobile. And let's close that. Same thing with this, the close function, we don't want that. And this close tooltip, we don't want that either. Let's just remove them. So now if I preview, these should do nothing. Cool, that's what we want. Now, let's go ahead and make our little drawer thing from the bottom. So I'm going to click on body, add a div, and why is that? Okay, yeah, add a div, and we're going to call this mobile tooltip wrapper. And we're going to set this to fixed and set it to fixed and make it go on the bottom. And let's make sure this is on top of everything. So we're going to do a crazy z-index number of like 1,000. And there we go. Now let's start styling this. I don't want it on the edges, so let's do 20 on the sides. Let's add some padding inside, something like 32. And let's go ahead and set the color to Let's use that. I'll use orange. Complementary colors. All right. Now for the border radius, I can click on this thing right here, and I can do the top left and the top right only. So we'll do 15 and 15. There we go. And now, actually, let's put more padding on the bottom. Something like 42. All right. And now we can put some text. And this text block, we'll call this mobile tool tip text. And we'll replace it with a dot. So what I want to do is, if I click on tooltip circle, so if the user clicks tooltip circle, find tooltip text. If you find it, copy the text in here, and then go down here and paste it into mobile tooltip text. All right. So we're going to tell the browser with jQuery, copy this content, copy this text, and then paste it here. Okay. Copying and pasting is not doable. You can't do this with Webflow interactions. So this is why you have to use low code to make this happen. All right. So let's look at what we have. Okay. This is all we got. That's cool. Let's make this text bigger. 36. Give it a Montserrat. And there we go. All right, cool. So our structure is ready. So let's add some low code. So we got to remember our class names. So our class names are tooltip circle. And then, let's see here. Actually, if I click on tooltip circle, I need to find the tooltip text. So that means I need to tooltip circle and then next and then child. Okay, so I'm telling myself what I'm going to code. So let's go into the code mode. Code mode. Here we go. All right, so here we go. It's going to seem a little bit confusing to some of you, but not to Mark. Mark is super awesome. He knows super code. So let's get into it. So when I click on tool tip circle, click function. All right. So what I just typed is, when I click on tooltip circle, do something. All right. When I click on tooltip circle, do something. And what is that something? We need to find the text. So we're going to call this EL for element. And we're going to say, actually, no. So take this element that I just clicked on and find and go to the next element, which is, go to the next element. So let me save this and show you. So when I click on tooltip circle, go to the next element. And so the code is going to go here. And then from here, I'm going to say, after next, go to the child and find tooltip text. All right. So go back to the code mode. Okay. So next children tooltip text, and then get the text inside of it. Now we want to save this text into our browser's temporary memory, and we'll just call this mobile we'll just call this tool tip text. Okay, cool. So we'll just call that temporary memory tooltip text. All right. And now we want to paste that into the mobile tooltip text. And so we can just go dot mobile tooltip text, and then we paste that text inside of it. So we get the tooltip text, paste it in there, and this shouldn't work on the first try. Nothing works on the first try. Mobile tooltip text. Let's publish and watch it not work, and then we figure out why it's not working. Okay, here we go. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. It worked. Cool. Since that worked, now we can just add a Webflow interaction to this and call it a day.